All right, yeah, as the Cyan allies in the north side, it is YuiUi.
And in the south side, as the purple Soviet, we do have Tingu.
I think I said south instead of north.
Oh, well, it's okay. People know it.
At the 12 o'clock location, I at least got the color and name and faction correct. It's power plant
true.
First. Is that into airfield, you think?
Yeah, it is, definitely. I mean, it's very standard for allies to go fast there.
Yeah, it's a nice small map. It's got that center ridge, which is very nice for allies. So.
And will the bear get there in time? No, it won't. To try and lock down the expansion, because that would force Yui to spend his bombs on bears.
Yeah, if you can sneak it inside of the walls. YuiUi is too good for that, though. He did go for that airfield, which means he's got a delayed refinery. But, I mean, it was dual racks and lots of infantry coming out for Tingu anyways. And actually, Tingu, I think he's got an engineer in that civilian structure on the left side. I'm assuming that's where his engineer is. I'm pretty sure he got an engineer. If he didn't, that'd be kind of odd. But he does have to be careful because he doesn't want to lose the engineer to the Vindicators.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was actually a conscript because he wouldn't produce an engineer because he's expecting this fast airfield. And when he does that, he knows he might get the engineer sniped. So he's waiting until the point where he has enough control that he can go and take the oil derricks. But as now he sees, like, the splitting with the bombs of Yui is just perfect. And that would just clear up conscript after conscript. Mm-hmm. And it will take, of course, 12 conscripts to pay for a Vindicator. That's pretty insane.
Yeah,
but
you have to refuel 4 times with that advanced aeronautics upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. And here comes the naval yard to start producing some bullfrogs to deal with the Vindicators. And we see Yui, his MCV's moving in, so he is doing the cheese, but on 2 reps.
Going for the turret push. It is after 2 refineries, sniping down the power plants. A nice move there by YuiUi. That's what he wants. And oh, the flak cannon does finish up. It's in low power mode. He went for 2 reactors and the naval yard, but bullfrogs are going to be popping out. It is a cheaper option than the war factory, but can he deal with the turrets? He's got lots of conscripts, which means 1 peacekeeper inside of that turret could be changing things up, but we'll have to see if he manages to get a peacekeeper inside of the multi-gunner turret.
Yeah, exactly. And really, Yui, he needs to be pretty careful. If he loses his MCV now, I mean, that would basically be like losing the game at this point. But of course, Yui's not going to do that.
He does get 1 multi-gunner turret down. He's already down to below half health, so the sell-off is not going to be very good. He doesn't get the sell-off. He trades it for about 3 conscripts, so $800 versus $300. Not exactly difficult to do that math there.
Yeah.
Tingu, he's still sitting on just those 2 power plants, but he does not have the flak cannon anymore, so he probably won't be running at that low power mode. Oh! YuiUi.
Oh, wow.
You sneak. He is so sneaky. He pulls off the first 2 Vindicators to go ahead and let the other 2 get the kill. It didn't end up really working out because he lost a Vindicator anyways, so...
Yeah, true, but it was a nice attempt, and at the same time, Tingu's control is really good. He was pulling back the bullfrogs to deal extra damage before they die. Yeah. And Yui managed to get up a turret inside his Tingu's base, so he's killing the refinery right now with 1 single turret. That range is just ridiculous.
Yeah, the build radius range, and then of course you can whack-a-mole the turrets all day long. Conscripts on the front line going to be dealing with this turret eventually, but they're going to be trading, and at this point, the conscript numbers are starting to really thin out, and the ore collector gets pulled around to the other side, but the multi-gunner turret does go down. The refinery gets eliminated. Ooh, not good for Tingu, and now his MCV is under fire. YuiUi loves this style. We've seen it in so many different games, so many different tournaments. Vindicators going down. 1 gets eliminated.
And well, Tingu reset now to 1 refinery, so he's pretty desperately needs to do something right now. You know, look at the build queue on his naval yard is going so slow. I mean, it's barely even moving.
Yeah.
And there's the multi-gunner. I think, wow, the Vindicators go down.
Oh, they all went down?
Yeah, they went down. Both of them.
Yeah, another one does get rebuilt, and I mean, there's 1 bullfrog. There's only 1 bullfrog. Oh. Stingray, though. The Stingray might be able to start doing some damage. If he goes for the Stingray with the Vindicator, I mean, he can wait until the Stingray is close enough to where he can just pop up, drop the bombs, and then jump right back into that airfield for more repairs and safety from that Bullfrog. Actually, no. Now there's 2 Vindicators, so we're talking about a different story now. One Vindicator gets brought off. Nice control there by YuiYui. Saves both of the Vindicators. Doesn't take too much damage on either one of them. The expansion potentially going down, but I mean, really, when you've only got that one refinery, you can hardly even call it an expansion.
Yeah, and now it's getting locked down by that barracks.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty unfortunate.
Tingu is trying to get the walls off, but there's the engineer. The conscripts will most likely be able to snipe it down, but the dogs will deal with the conscripts. He may have to bring the harvester off the line. Nope, the wall segments do go down. And yeah, bringing the harvester off the line to crush an engineer, no bueno. Is that cryoblast firing off? Yes, it is.
Yeah, because then he can't wall up.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh.
Tingu.
That is so unfortunate. Actually, something Tingu should have paid attention to is that he actually do have an extra collector in the water, but it's not gonna matter. Yeah.
Yep. Game number 1 goes to YuiYui in that classic Yui high aggression fashion.
Yeah, that was pretty, you know, I think he was kind of expecting it, and he was really doing his best to deal with it, but again, it's pretty hard to stop.
On the bottom left side, as the Green Soviets, he is down 1 game, he is Tingu.
And on the top side, as the Cyan allies, we do have YuiYui.
So yeah, we could just be seeing, I mean, we are seeing walls come down, which is indicative of, actually, it's gonna be...
Power plant, it's gonna be fast airfield again.
Alright, so we're starting to see a little bit of development coming out from YuiYui. It's dual barracks, which, I mean, he may be delaying his engineer just to go ahead and get out the more infantry. That's pretty standard to do. You don't get the engineer right away. You instead go for the infantry, and that's looking like what Tingu is going to be doing. So he's kind of missing out on that income that he could have gotten at this point.
Yeah, and now, you know, once Tingu scout this, I mean, if he manages to get, I mean, if Tingu manages to get some flak troopers or so into the garrisons, that could really cause trouble for the Vindicators. I mean, that's hard to deal with.
Indeed, I mean, that's going to take either peacekeepers trading their lives to clear out those buildings, or he's gonna have to just try to continually bomb them while, you know, taking losses to those flak troopers. So we'll have to see what the Vindicators decide to do from YuiYui. In the last map that we saw, in the last battle-based beta Tingu game that we saw versus Vindies, he just took basically every single structure on the map that he possibly could. He had conscripts everywhere, trying to see exactly what his opponent was doing. Keep an eye on all parts of the map. He's got bears camped out at various expansion locations. He wants to keep an eye on exactly where his opponent is, how many refineries they are on, and that is, of course, very important things to know. War factory after 2nd refinery, but before the super reactor and before the 3rd expansion for Tingu.
Yeah, exactly, and now you see the bears blocking off every single expansion, and that requires Yui to bomb the bears, which is not really what you want to be doing. You want to be able to get like some shots off on the units coming out of the war factory, but now he's kind of like forced to bomb the bears for the scouting loss. And
it's 3 bombs that it takes to kill those bears. So imagine if YuiYui would have misclicked and not got advanced aeronautics. Like, it would be, you know, 2.5 bombers, or 1.5 bombers to kill 1 bear. But fortunately, he knows what he's doing. He got that advanced aeronautics. He can kill a bear with just 1 Vindicator. And I mean, still, that's super annoying. He does have 3 Vindicators moving out. He's going to be getting eyes on this water expansion. Down to the south, Tingu will be revealed. And YuiYui, he spots it. He's like, all right, so you're going over there for your 3rd expansion. You know where I am because you had that bear. So we both kind of know what each other is doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Yui right now is just camping, waiting for a sweet spot where he can, like, get off some free shots. And he's gonna go for the oil derrick. 4 Vindicators takes it out instantly.
Which is nice. I mean, Yui hasn't grabbed his own oil derrick, but eliminating that that opportunity for your opponent is definitely very nice. Refinery is down, and no flak cannon just yet, so...
Well, now he's gonna grab this oil, but look at the bear coming out from the water. It might actually snipe that engineer.
Oh, no, he didn't get it. For a second, I just scrolled over there after you said that, and then I thought that the Javelin Trooper going down was the bear, or was the engineer, but no.
Oh, well, the bear is gonna miss the engineer.
Oh.
That is being super annoying. That is super, super annoying.
Yep, Yuiui gets the oiled arc right there. And I mean, the 5 conscripts into the back of the expansion for YuiYui, that's super annoying.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. If they manage to, you know, like, get those power plants, that'll just be super annoying.
I mean, he can split, he has enough bombs to take down those conscripts, and he does do it. Ooh, takes a little bit more damage on the power plant, not enough to really do anything. 4 bullfrogs in the middle of YuiYui's base.
Oh man, he's gonna get camped this airfield. He's totally locked down now. He needs those javelin down there.
Has not started. Oh, and there's one conscript left. Slowly working away at that power plant. Man, that's annoying. That is so annoying. The sickle is there as well to help deal with those javelin troopers.
Well,
the bullfrogs are starting to move away, which, I mean, the further away you have the bullfrogs from the airfield, the longer the travel time for the Vindicators, and the better you're going to be feeling as the Soviet player. One sickle does go down. Nice control there by by Yuiui with his Vindicators. Oh, the bullfrogs do survive. There's 4 of them out on the map, but they do get the bombs off. Nice sideways bombing there from YuiYui. He's bombing just as quickly as he possibly can. Hydrofoil and a Riptide in the south side of the map, taking down that expansion. Well, they took down the refinery, or took down the harvester, going for the refinery next. And that power plant is still taking damage from that conscript, but it will get cleaned up. 2 bullfrogs do escape to the middle of the map.
And I do believe, like, that was a pretty huge loss. I mean, what was it, like 3 bullfrogs, 2 stickles for the price of, like, 1 Vindicator?
Yeah, I think he only killed a Vindicator. Yeah, and it was 2, maybe only 2 bullfrogs. Because there was 2 that escaped, and I believe he had 4. But yeah, like 2 sickles as well. Not efficient. And on top of that, he lost the harvester, forced to sell off the refinery, the Riptide in the south with that hydrofoil, like killer combination. Going to be making sure that nothing does stop that. Of course, with the weapon jamming ability of that hydrofoil, you can be so effective with that.
And I think right now Yuiui is just waiting for his cryo shot to be ready. So you see that 1 Riptide there? It's just waiting for the cryo shot so it can go in and get a harvester kill.
In the meantime, the 4 Vindicators in the north side of the map, I mean, while he's waiting for that, oh, he's going for the airfield. Does the sell happen? It's 250 credits, but the veterancy also goes down for those Vindicators. One of them is now at that veteran status. And yeah, you mentioned the cryo shot. It probably will be firing off relatively soon here. And the hydrofoil escaping off to the north side of the map. He might be able to catch, I don't know if any air units actually got out for Tingu, but if there are any air units, he may be able to catch them. Terror drone heading up north. The bullfrogs trying to push in to do some damage. Guardian tanks and javelin troopers are already here to defend.
And wow, I mean, 4 Vindicators just keeps on bombing the airfield, and if he doesn't, like, get any air units out, it's just gonna be so much wasted time for Tingu. But
yep, wasted time, you know, wasted money.
Yeah, exactly.
The bullfrog's taking an interesting position on this high ground. I mean, we could end up seeing Tingu try to snipe down the oil derrick eventually from that high ground, but for now, he's just hoping to... Oh, there's the crab blast that you were talking about. The harvester does escape, which means the walls will be the only victim there if he decides to shoot them, but that would basically be a waste of time. Not exactly the victory that you want. The ore refinery
that
in the north
could be his escape. That's his escape.
Oh my gosh, he actually is going to get away from those hammer tanks. Oh, that low damage mode, will he lose it? Yes, he does go down. It didn't even matter. But in the north, Terror Drone infects that prospector. There's no dolphins. Oop. YuiYui, he's got an ore collector off the line. He brought it off the line because of that Badger Bomber dropping that Desolator airstrike, but he has forgot to put it back on the line.
Oh, wow.
Vindicators drop down, and he's got it back on the line now. So he kills his own prospector, but he eliminates that Terror Drone as well, which is the most important part of that equation. And the expansion does get spotted, and the Terror Drone goes down. Excellent bomb splitting from YuiYui. He takes out that Terror Drone, just a single bomb. And we have not really seen flak troopers in the buildings. I mean, there's a lot of garrisons on this map. So, I mean, there's the high ground as well. So we're talking about the potential of a lot of damage output from Tingu that we're not actually seeing. And granted, flak troopers do cost money. 3 or 4, are they 400?
Yeah, I believe it's 400. They're pretty expensive, but at the same time, if you pull them out and use them in your main army, that's super, super, I mean, effective. Those magnetic mines can, like, instant kill tanks.
Yeah, they do fair damage. Vindicator's going to be coming in. The Bullfrogs are too far back to really do anything. Nice control by YuiYui. Doesn't lose a single Vindicator. Trades it for 2. Oh, no. He does lose 1 Vindicator, but he pushes his Bullfrogs forward. Almost loses a Bullfrog. Instead, he takes out the Oil Derrick, but he trades it for 2 Hammer Tanks. Not exactly the most efficient trade that we've ever seen. Crusher Crane going down at the expansion of Tingu. So he's going to have that healing ability for his aircraft, but that's a long way to drive for his tanks to get that heal. We'll have to see if he actually does that, but likely that'll just be for the aircraft.
I think that at this point, Tingu, he realizes that, you know, as a Soviet, it's going to be pretty difficult to win against allies unless you're ahead in refineries. He needs, like, 1 more refinery than Yuiui to, you know, like, secure his winning possibilities. Yeah. And that's just not happening. He keeps on getting denied, you know. Those Vindicators has just been so annoying. And now that Yui's tier 3, you know, that's going to be really, really difficult for Tingu to deal with, really.
Yeah, we're talking about end game sort of stuff here, late game. 1 Apollo does go down. We haven't seen too many MiGs out of Tingu, but he is starting to get them. Battle Lab going down, and again, those repairs going to be benefiting that Bullfrog as well. Gets that back up to full HP. And you said it, it's 4 refinery versus 4 refinery. Although the Aegis shield does go down on that Athena cannon, the toxins do get dumped. The Cryoblast does fire off. Nice control by Tingu. Will be dodging it completely. 7 hammer tanks do survive. Some of them do have those weapon actually upgrades, so good on Tingu. Needs to make sure that he controls properly, doesn't lose that hammer tank. He does indeed. The leech beam's going to be providing those free repairs, and he spots that Mirage tank, so he knows that Mirage tanks are out on the field. Ooh, the Athena cannon almost kills that hammer tank.
Oh, wow.
Tingu has to be very careful. He wants to make sure that he keeps his weakened hammer tanks at the back, possibly gets them repaired before actually the battle happens. Vindicator comes up almost... Well, he was almost in range to actually do some damage, but actually sacrificing the 2 buildings in the middle, definitely a good source of repairs. We're looking at least 3 Mirage tanks, potentially now 4 out on the map.
Yeah, he needs a decent number to deal with those hammer tanks, but the cool thing about hammer tanks is if Tingu manages to, you know, like leech off an Athena cannon or a Mirage, he gets like a super powerful hammer tank for the price of nothing. And that's what you want to be doing, you know. That hammer tank spam can really be good if you're like controlling like Tingu does. Yeah,
Tingu trying to kind of hit the back of his opponent's base in that water expansion. Tried to be sneaky with a Terror Drone. It did not work. Athena cannons charging up, firing off. Don't do a huge amount of damage. That Guardian tank may be a bit too far forward, but Tingu doesn't have the DPS to instantly punish that. He will do a little bit of damage, but basically negligible at that point. The MCV driving backwards, most likely going to be looking to set up an additional expansion. YuiYui, though, he's got the Air Force to stop that, and he is going to be just sort of camping on the right side of the map. I'm pretty sure he's just barely in range, in vision range of that refinery.
So and here's the Kirov. Did you see that? The Kirov airship in the middle? And the V-Force? Yeah. Super action.
Oh, that Aegis shield goes up at pretty much the last possible second. And of course, you have to be very, very careful with Mirage tanks, because you know what really kills Mirage tanks very easily? Kirov airships. So if you get some good shots off with the Kirovs, and there's not a ton of anti-air out from YuiYui, we could be seeing a big battle go heavily in the favor of Tingu. It's going to partially depend on the positioning of these 2 players. Cryoblast does fire off. That is, Cryoblast, not Cryo Shot. But it does trap 2 or 3 hammer tanks. Will be going down. The V4s get eliminated as well. Nice use of that ability to force an engagement and force Tingu to be kind of in an awkward position. The Kirov going to be coming in, bombing down some of these infantry, some of these tanks. The hammer tanks able to kind of leech one of the Mirage weapons off of those tanks. And on top of that, the 2 frozen hammer tanks didn't actually go down. We now have a fully heroic hammer tank right on the front line. The Kirov continuing to dominate the forces of YuiYui, but YuiYui does have a couple of Vindicators going to be coming in. They're going for the bombing run. They're going to be splitting their bombs, and the Vindicators do come in, eliminate a hammer tank and a V4. The Bullfrogs coming in a little bit too late. They get one of the Vindicators, but not able to clean up too much else. There isn't much of a ground army left for YuiYui. That army, that engagement going in favor of Tingu, but it wasn't super heavily in favor of Tingu, but it was in his favor.
Well, look at that. He has 2 Mirage tanks. I mean, Hammer tanks as Mirage. Oh, well, losing one now, but that DPS is... Look at that, just one-shots. And Athena almost. It's just insane. Oh my god.
Aegis Shield. Does that not actually stop Kirov bombs?
Yeah,
okay,
it does.
yes, it does. It does. For a second, it looked like the Kirov airship killed one of those Athena cannons. Oh, he will get the kill on it, though. And the Toxins as well coming down. A second Kirov on the field. YuiYui, can he stop the Soviet might in the air, on the ground? It's tearing up his base. He's got 2 Kirovs, no defense. I mean, Athena cannons, they're nice, but the Aegis Shield only lasts for so long. And those Javelin troopers, they're trying to focus down the weakened Kirov, but the Kirovs, even when they die, they become a bomb themselves. They become a grenade.
Oh, yeah, a huge grenade. I mean, look at that. The DPS, I mean, the damage output of these, it's just insane. I mean, just ridiculous.
Absolutely. He's going for the barracks as well. He takes out the power plant with that dying Kirov, gets the cashback bounty, so Tingu is going to be making a little bit of money off of these kills. The Apollo finally does come out. There's a hammer tank working away at that airfield. The second one will be joining the fray, and the Kirov will crash onto the power plant. Not enough to kill it, I think. Half HP. A couple of, actually, a multi-gunner IFV at full health. But is this damage completely irreparable for YuiYui? Has Tingu just done too much infrastructure damage? I mean, we're talking about war factories, a lot of power plants, barracks, production facilities, expansions. Is this just too much for YuiYui to come back from?
Well, I'm excited to see how Yui is actually going to deal with this attack now, because you see that there's just more and more and more stuff coming streaming out of Tingu. I mean, it's not like necessarily one type of units. It's like all sort of units. Bears, Natasha, tanks, you know, bullfrogs. And I don't see a way that he can really counter this else than cryocopters. I mean, he can do cryocopters with infantry, but he still got to deal with the Kirovs, and that's just harsh, you know. It's really, really, really difficult because their HP is so high.
Yep. And I did want to mention that YuiYui was on low power mode. He is no longer, but he was for a little while there, so that was kind of blocking him. As you mentioned, the cryocopters, they are coming out, but again, yeah, dealing with those high-tier Soviet units, they've got a lot of power beneath them. And the Apollo is going to be forced to come over here. There's a hydrofoil out on the water. Weapon jammer, where are you, YuiYui? He's bringing it over just now. He needs to use the weapon jammer. It's going to be more useful. The Kirov is going to become useless if he uses the weapon jammer. He might actually get the kill on that multi-gunner turret. No, he does not. This Kirov will be going down. Nice use. There's the weapon jammer. All right, now that Kirov's pretty much useless.
Oh, and he manages to put a prospector down there. Do you see that? In Tingu's base, so he can put up a turret now.
You mean at Tingu's expansion?
Yeah.
On the left side? Yeah, okay. The conscripts are taking it down. Yep. I think YuiYui, I don't know if he knew that Tingu already had that expansion. Oh, okay, he does go for the boot camp, so he's going to be able to produce some dogs. We'll have to see how effective they are. I mean, they get the kill on one of those conscripts. The build radius does remain. This is a nice, like, kind of cutesy counterattack move. Like, you know, smashing down a expansion, but there's like 1 million hammer tanks in the middle of the map, so can he deal with those? Cryocopters are good, Yui's control is amazing, but is it going to be enough? This dog is absolutely tearing everything up, but he has to kill actually a lot of conscripts to really get that to really get that veterancy, and then he just gets run over by a hammer tank.
Yeah, but there's, in my opinion, some additional benefits to this attack, because this is kind of like distracting Tingu long enough for him to rebuild, because he had no, you know, like, constructions going for him and no production facilities whatsoever. He had the airfield, but like no barracks, no nothing, and he really needed to buy some time. And there's the cryo shot. Maybe a little bit wasted though.
Yeah, cryo does fire off.
Oh my god.
2 hammer tanks get eliminated. A third one is under the potential of going down. And I mean, one way to counter cryo shot is, or cryo geddon rather, with the Athena, with the Athena cannon Aegis shield. Unfortunately for Tingu, Soviets don't have that option. One Vindicator goes down. The heroic one does escape. And actually, I think this MiG is, nope, the MiG is only veteran, not quite heroic.
And
so
here
Tingu
comes
holds
the
the left side of the map. The what?
The harass of the cryocopters. You see all the forces going back now trying to deal with the cryocopters, but notice that Tingu has a MiG, and I mean there's only one Apollo, or am I wrong? Yeah, there's only one Apollo to deal with this.
Actually, no, there's 2 Apollos now. He's got 2 Apollos, a Vindicator, and nothing else building at that airfield. we just need to see more MiGs out of Tingu. I mean, he's got the bullfrogs, which are great, but the cryocopters can help nullify them. Oh, the MiGs get a couple of free shots off on that Apollo, which means the Apollo count is now going to be in favor of Tingu. MiGs versus Apollos, however, heroic Apollo, on the other hand, will be able to eliminate...
Oh, wow, he got
close.
it. Fully heroic MiG. That's definitely going to be awesome.
The airfield goes down in the meantime. Tingu in a commanding position for this game. There's cryocopters still out on the field, which means extreme cost effectiveness is the name of the game for YuiYui. He's just going to have to be super, super cost effective. And the MiGs are going to be able to take down a couple of these cryocopters, but it will take quite a few shots. I mean, $1,600 is a lot of armor to put on these cryocopters. 2 hammer tanks will be going down. It's a heroic hammer tank and a regular hammer tank as well. Oh, man. YuiYui is not in a good position. Oh, Iron Curtain coming down for Tingu.
Iron Curtain?
Yep. Check the expansion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Ah, yes. And, I mean, that fully heroic MiG, he gets free repairs on that. The other 2 MiGs are pretty much full HP. And YuiYui, he's trying the cutesy moves on the left side again. That command hub, it's deploying right now. Unfortunately, there's 2 twin blades. They did stop attacking because they were attacking when it was a prospector. And then, of course, when it turns into a building, they stop attacking automatically. But Tingu was like, hey, go ahead and kill that. Oh, V4s, 2 of them get eliminated. They get some shots off. The Aegis shield is enough to stop the shots for the most part. A little bit of residual damage, I think, was done, but overall, not a huge deal. There's the satellites, kind of like the Cryogeddon, is actually going to be forcing YuiYui to retreat into them. The Aegis shield does go off. I think 4 or 5 infantry units did get taken out there, but that's not quite enough to, or that's not the Athena cannons, rather. That's not the more important units. 1 twin blade will be getting pulled off the line in the north here. That Apollo desperately trying to eliminate it. He gets the kill on the twin blade and then loses the Apollo. But these hammer tanks.
He got that hammer tank with the Athena cannon on now. Did you see that? He leached it off.
I don't know which one it was. But he did the leech kill.
Yeah, he did.
Which is going to be absolutely awesome. I think it's the one in the front.
There it is. Yeah, look at that.
There he is. Athena Cannon wars are going to be taking place at least a little bit here. And, I mean, if you get that guy up to fully heroic, that's going to be absolutely impressive. It does go down there, which actually lands heroic status. Oh, Cryogeddon is going to be firing off. This is a very bad situation for Tingu. This is a money Cryogeddon shot. However, Tingu may be able to recover after losing these hammer tanks. He's pressing on forward. Can the cryocopters actually stop these hammer tanks? They should be able to. They were hesitant for a little while there, which means the hammer tanks will be able to run away from the Athena cannons, but there is multi-gunner turrets here on the front line. Do you think terror drones would be at all a viable option for helping to deal with some of these Athena cannons?
Yeah, well, they can lock them down, but they can't really, you know, like, infect them, because he got the war factory in the airfield so close, so that won't really work, but...
Yeah, locking them down, I mean.
Apocalypse tanks? That's funny. I rarely see that out of a Soviet player against allies. I mean, that's gonna just not work, because the moment that Yuiui uses that shrinkage... Yeah, it's just gonna suck. But really, the V4 is so
Tingu
good.
Gives away a MiG and a twin blade. That hydrofoil is now completely heroic. So I mean, you gotta hand it to YuiYui. He picked up a couple of kills there, and that is super annoying for Tingu. YuiYui not out of this game just yet. He's been up against the ropes for the majority of it, I feel, well, for the last 5 minutes or so. But he's held on. He's stabilized. And, I mean, he does have to deal with the might of the Soviet army, though.
Yeah, I can't believe this comeback. And this creative way of harassing that Yui's doing, he's sending yet another prospector down there.
This is just kind of getting silly. Oh, and there's the infect. And the hydrofoil has no repairs it can get to. No dolphins to kill it.
Oh, that's
sad.
It was a good one.
Mm-hmm. One of the most cost-effective hydrofoils I've seen in a long time. Unless YuiYui has something cute at his MCV, which he doesn't. I mean, potentially he could have, like, thrown down an airfield or something. MiGs, I think a Vindicator? Nope, never mind. I thought there was a Vindicator, like, cryo shot harass going to happen, but it didn't actually happen. That terror drone, which gets a heroic kill on that hydrofoil, finally clearing up that guy, does get frozen down by the cryocopters, eliminated by the Vindicator. And I mean, hey, killing off that one terror drone may not win you the game, but having a veteran Vindicator over a just regular Vindicator is definitely going to be nice. But these 3 Apocalypse tanks, this is the army that YuiYui has to deal with. Can he? Maybe.
Wow. If the strings is good enough, wow, he's using the Iron Curtain. I totally forgot about that.
That was even a thing.
That's what he was doing. Oh my god.
That's what he was waiting for. V4s do get shrunk down. Those cryocopters are in the wrong position. Can you shrink an Iron Curtained Apocalypse tank?
Did you see that spy purchase? Did that even work?
Wait, what?
The spy just tried to purchase the bullfrogs.
Oh my gosh.
Did that work?
No, I don't think so. GG comes down.
Oh my god.
Does Iron Curtain nullify that purchase? I guess so.
It does. He had a spy in the middle of all the bullfrogs, and in that very moment, Yuiui tried to purchase them.
Oh wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, I never
so that
do
game,
that. I never tried.
Yeah, YuiYui, he's just like unfair. Because I mean, with those bullfrogs being invincible, what are you gonna do with cryocopters? You can't take out the bullfrogs.
Do with Apocalypse? I mean, Apocalypse is just OP enough already.
Invincible Apocalypse tanks. I forgot, like I mentioned the Iron Curtain, and then I forgot about it immediately. 21-minute game, awesome action from both sides. This is Game 3, spawning as the Yellow Soviets in the bottom left side of Industrial Strength. The man who just evened up the score, it's 1-1, he is Tingu.
And spawning in the top side, we do have the Cyan allies, and that is YuiYui.
It's power plant first. There's no barracks. He's walling himself in. YuiYui, is it going to be a 0-ref push? We will be seeing. I mean, he could be going for an airfield. Yeah, it is going to be airfield first. He's walling himself completely in. So,
yeah,
airfield.
Exactly. And this is a classic build on Industrial, and that's because he totally denies off like any early infantry pushes by doing this wall swacking.
Because Tingu's engineer still has quite a ways to go to get to that oil derrick, but he can jump inside of those buildings. So if Yuiui is super lucky with his Vindicators, he might get the kill there. Oh, no, he's heading for, okay, good on you, Tingu. Jumps inside of that building, loses the conscript, all 3 bombs do go to it, so YuiYui not splitting as well as he could.
And I didn't see, did he actually produce a second engineer? Or no? No, he didn't.
I do not think so. Alright, that's better bomb splitting coming out from YuiYui. There is a bear on the ridge giving constant vision to Tingu. He's going to be seeing exactly what's going on. The walls in the front do get sold off. Is it an MCV push or a really weird path to a 3rd expansion? Probably MCV turret push. We will have to see. Vindicators running all over the map. The war factory is just now going down. This is a delayed war factory in comparison to how fast it could have been after that first refinery. And the MCV is moving, but I think the bear should be seeing this. The conscript in that building will definitely be seeing it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And not only that, you know, all these conscripts around the map also gives him vision on all the Vindicators. So he knows, like, well, where am I gonna be bombed next? And is this collector bugged? Yeah, it's bugged. Look at the dancing ore collector next to the airfield. That happens sometimes, unfortunately. You see that?
It doesn't seem
dancing
to be
a little bit.
too bugged. It is definitely at a weird path, but I feel like that's not like 5 seconds or anything. It's just a couple seconds maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, walls coming down for well, we do have bullfrogs, but walls coming down for Tingu. And there goes the oil derrick. So we grabbed the oil derrick, he got the cash back and a little bit of money out of it. But now that we've got multi-gunner turrets on the way, these bullfrogs aren't going to be super useful. There's the power plant inside of Tingu's base.
Oh my god. What kind of placement is that?
I guess if you don't well, he's placing it there because he plans on taking this as his new home.
Yeah, I guess something like that. Or he's trying to protect it from the conscripts outside.
4 bullfrogs, 0 sickles. Interesting choice there by Tingu. The laser lock will be happening most likely from this javelin trooper. I mean, he's got the opportunity to laser lock the MCV. He is going to be going for it. Terror drone is out on the map, but that multi-gunner turret will help eliminate that really quite nicely. YuiYui runs right into that MCV. Sometimes units do that. Vindicators are rolling right up on this base. They've got an airfield for that pretty much immediate bombing run, but we'll have to see if the bullfrogs get good shots off. The bullfrogs are on the wrong side of the base for that. They do go for the ore collector. Those Vindicators able to eliminate one of the ore collectors.
And is this a base swap, or what is going on? That MCV kind of like just driving around?
I'm guessing it's just going to be a base swap. Oh, low power mode for YuiYui, but he deploys the power plant. He's going to be just fine. The bullfrogs should be able to escape. Fortunately, they did get stuck up on the geometry a little bit, but they were able to escape without getting crushed. And that's like one of the things you have to be careful about is like MCVs, they're slow, they can crush, and if you get stuck on geometry...
And there's the Terror drone out of the Bullfrog, so he's gonna instantly lose that collector up there.
Yep, he will be able to get the kill on that collector. The other collector does have a Peacekeeper next to it, so he might be able to get the snipe on a second Terror drone if that ends up happening, but the Sickle jumps inside of there. The Ore Collector is going for the crush on those 2 Javelin Troopers. He might actually get it. One of them does go down. The other one will be able to escape. The Multi-Gunner turret, on the other hand, will finish off that Ore Collector. The sell-off of pretty much everything in the main base, and yep, base swap. You were asking about it a little bit earlier. It looks like it is going to be a base trade scenario. And this is YuiYui. We have to expect base trades to happen. And I mean, it's just kind of what happens with his games.
Yeah, exactly. And also that, actually, Tingu has like one little piece of wall segment, so he can actually spot that Yuiui has expanded there without walls. And he can also block off and sell the wall whenever he wants to infect it with the Terror drone. That's pretty smart.
That's true indeed, yeah. I mean, YuiYui can clear out those walls, but it's pretty annoying to do that. It's just, I mean, you have to... Oh, wait a second. We have a power plant still in the main base for YuiYui. He's at his old main base. That needs to be focused down by Tingu. Potentially,
yeah, he's like...
that would be taking Yuiui into low power mode. He does have 2 other power plants, so it might not. But, I mean, that's an important point. Like, Tingu needs to make sure that he takes that down, and Yuiui needs to make sure that that's not what's keeping him in this game. Because losing that...
And
oh, there's the Terror drone. Yep.
Just...
And no response from YuiYui. He's going to be losing that Ore Collector. Does he? He does have the airfield here, which means he can get the repairs. Is he just going to bomb his own collector? Nope.
Nah, he's going to repair it. But yeah, at least forcing it off the line is getting something from that almost dead Terror drone.
Yeah. And he is going to keep it around for at least some of the repairs. 4 Bullfrogs are still out on the field.
And where's the collector? There.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed the little smoke plume coming out. No response from YuiYui. He's taken quite a bit of damage on that Ore Collector. YuiYui doesn't seem to be having very good luck with Ore Collectors. I think this one in the old main base of Tingu is a little bit bugged as well, which is unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think it's just a little bit bugged. It does get pulled off the line there, so it will get repairs. Tingu definitely doing what he can, and... Oh, YuiYui. You monster. It's spotted by Tingu, but in his old main base, that's a refinery. He kept that command hub around. And now Tingu is going to be like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'm on 1 refinery, you are on 3. Well, two harvesting refineries, but Tingu in a not very good economic position. He does have the oil derrick, which helps mitigate that difference a little bit, but even so, 3 refineries is better than 1 plus an oil derrick. And the multi-gunner turret even goes down, which means these conscripts are going to have to be pretty careful. I don't know that they're in high enough numbers to actually deal with it.
Nah, I don't think so.
Hey, tornado warning in my area. So if you can hear that... Okay, calm down.
Oh, wow, I can hear that.
Yeah, did you hear that, like, alarm?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my phone being like, hey, there's a tornado warning.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so there's a tornado warning for the next hour, it said. So if I suddenly go offline, that's what just happened.
All right, at least we'll know.
Yeah, at least it's not a hurricane warning. Like, that's even worse. Tornado warning, might hit my area, might not. Hurricane warning, that's when things get serious.
Yeah, better run.
Yeah. All right, hurricane warning will not be stopping this game, even if it does happen. But Tingu in a bit of a tornado of pain as YuiYui has re-expanded to his main base. He's been forced off the line a little bit there. He's still at those 2 collectors in Tingu's old main base. And Tingu is starting to take kind of the left side of the map. YuiYui does have an MCV over there with a multi-gunner turret started. And a couple of peacekeepers bugging out.
And Yui's MCV chasing him out to the water. So he's just going to face even more turrets to deal with. I mean... This is such a weird game. They're like turning around. First base swap, then we go back to like chasing out to the water. So they're just chasing each other around all the map. I mean, Yui's chasing Tingu, not the other way around. Yeah, and YuiYui loves doing this. Like, in his interview, GG comes down from Tingu. In his interview, YuiYui was like, yeah, I love cheese pretty much as other people hate it. But, yeah. Yeah, well... Tingu definitely behind for the majority of that game. Yeah, but again, it's so hard to deal with. I mean, for any Soviet player, regardless of how good you are, even at Tingu's level, it's different.
Spawning as the Cyan allies on the left side. He's up 2-1 against Tingu. This is YuiYui.
And spawning as the purple Soviets, we do have Tingu in the right side.
Indeed, and this is Tingu's map choice. He's going to be feeling very happy about this. Going barracks into that reactor. So YuiYui going for that single barracks as well, which means so far we're not seeing any sort of like silly pushes just yet. I mean, he still can because he's got the one refinery walled in. He's starting his walls on his second one, so I don't think we're going to see a one refinery like racks push or anything like that.
Well, I don't think either, but the thing is, you know, this map, I mean, some argue that it favors Soviet a little bit, but most Soviet players goes Crane. This is why it's pretty interesting to see like the fast conscripts coming streaming out across the map, trying to get into those garrisons. And actually, Yuiui is doing the same. You know, who would expect Yuiui to even bother building a barrack? You know, he didn't do that.
Well, he sells it off. He's got his second refinery queued up. And I mean, this map is big. It's potentially, is this the largest map in the pool?
I think that Temple Prime is bigger.
Oh, is it actually?
I think. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't measured them. Maybe they're actually same size, but it's around the same. But I think the travel distance is shorter on Cabana than Temple.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That engineer from YuiYui not paying attention loses it in the middle of the map to those conscripts in that building. That's super annoying.
Wow. And he's throwing out the LOL.
Yeah. But, wait a second, what? Oh, it's airfield into tier 2. That was not a second refinery that YuiYui was building. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
He
was
down
faking
the walls. Oh my gosh. YuiYui. This guy.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about the big map and how turret pushes aren't as common because it takes so long to get across the map. Tingu already moving his MCV. How is he going to react? He didn't go for the war factory, so he saved himself that $2,000 there. He's got the engineer out. And there's the conscript onto the high ground for that vision. We've seen Tingu do this in other maps, so...
But at this point, I mean, Tingu, he has no idea this is coming to him because he scouted when those walls were throwing down, so he expecting him to wall up to refineries, not one refinery and then like a wall segment for nothing.
Yeah, mind games.
Mind games, exactly. And
hashtag mind games. Cryocopter going to be coming in. There's 2 bullfrogs out on the field. Ooh, the naval yard, not the war factory. He's got a third one going to be popping out, and a stingray as well, just to help deal with anything on the ground. The MCV is going to be deploying. And the bullfrogs are going to be running away. The stingray, can he actually do any damage? Multi-gunner turrets are pretty good against... oh, well, there's the engineer. Better run that guy.
Yeah, he's going to try to block the con yard off from deploying.
Okay, there we go. Now we got the engineer. Can he get the... Oh, YuiYui isn't actually noticing. He's got the cryocopter and the vindicator on the north side of the map. Oh my god,
yeah, he knows.
Going to grab
he wants
the
to finish his
no, okay, so he unpacks. Whew, there we go.
Oh, low power. Oh my god, this is terrible for him. He can cap the airfield now.
Yes, he can indeed. The Vindicator could be coming in to snipe the engineer, but he's going to be sacrificing himself to those 4 bullfrogs. He gets the sell-off. This is not going very well for YuiYui. He's trying to snipe it down. He gets the engineer with the multi-gunner turret. Oh, and the cryocopter rather does help the harvester to go down. Is it even worth it to rebuild that harvester in this situation?
Yeah, it is. It is indeed for, but I mean, he knows that he can basically, if he can sit it out onto refineries, he can win the game. But right now, he needs to deal with that cryocopter and the MCV at the same time. So it's pretty harsh for him right now, and he has no way to lock down the turrets. Like if you're an Allies player, you can just use the hydrofoil secondary ability, and you know, dealing with a water turret is so hard if you're a Soviet.
Do you think? Let's see, where are the power plants for YuiYui? Does he just have that one on the left side of the map? Is that it?
Yeah, I think he has only one. He doesn't need more.
If Tingu could figure out a way to just get some unit, whether it be a Stingray or what have you, over there to kill that power plant, we could potentially see Tingu, you know, really set YuiYui back. But that's a long distance to go, so there's not a second power plant closer that he can take out. The wall segments will be not saving that ore collector. Almost saved it, but they were kind of forfeit there. One collector is on the line for Tingu. He also does have one oil derrick and the potential to grab a second oil derrick. The sell-off of that multi-gunner turret will be ensuring that YuiYui gets that cash back.
Well, I'll argue that it might be worth it. I mean, maybe now it's a little bit too late.
GG comes out from Tingu. Game number 3, map number 3, Tingu's choice will be going to YuiYui and setting himself up for that 3-1.
Wow. I was gonna say that he had a chance earlier than this, but like he could have put some flak troopers in a bullfrog and then use that to transport it down and take out Yui's eco.
Yeah, YuiYui with the mind games there. Tingu absolutely ahead in economy, not able to really make it work. Spawning as the green allies on the left side, he just dropped that last map. This is Tingu.
And spawning as the Cyan Empire on the right side, we do have YuiYui, an interesting faction change, don't you think?
So we've got, of course, Tingu played as allies, YuiYui played as Empire, and then in the chat before the game, when Tingu said Infinity Isle was the map, YuiYui was like, that's not fair, allies OP. And then it's just like, well, I guess we're gonna see how this game goes. Infinity Isle, the map. Some players consider it to favor allies over Empire. And we'll have to see, though. Tingu, he's a Soviet player. How well does he play allies?
Oh, he plays allies super well. I've seen him play that before, but I was just about to mention it when I see he's going for both refineries, but it would be so funny if Tingu decided to cheese this one. Could you have seen that?
Oh man, and he just like, he drops down those walls and then he just fakes it like YuiYui and he just runs his MCV. I mean, we have to see a turret push, right? Or does Tingu think like, all right, this is my last potential map. So am I just going to be, you know, am I just going to be giving this away with a turret push, or am I going to be playing this a little bit more safe?
Yeah, well, he's going for the ridge, so he's going for a fast tier 2 and 3rd refinery, I guess. But Yuiui is doing something. I mean, he's still staying in his base.
Lots of infantry.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's doing, because this is not like super standard. He's going for a war factory. Wow, this is a very interesting build actually for allies on this map. Probably going for a few multi-gunners to put some peacekeepers in him, and then he can like shoot all the Imperial warriors for free.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, if he ends up getting some nice shots off with those multi-gunner turrets, he could definitely be doing a lot of damage.
Oh, he's actually putting the javelin. He's going straight for the harassment of the base.
Okay,
you see, there is no walls.
He's going to be putting on some damage. He's definitely scouted that with his dog. He's aware of the fact that there is no walls. I mean, the back of one refinery is walled in. YuiYui trying to wall in some of those, the other harvester, but it'll be a little bit slow, I think. He might get those walls up. Yeah, he does get the walls up, but the other harvester is going to be... No, actually, the power plants are going to be the target. So low power mode incoming, but also lots of Imperial warriors incoming. Is it going to be a Riptide out of that airfield, or out of that war factory? Potentially. The Imperial warrior actually does survive, so he can bonsai charge over there and kill that javelin trooper, potentially.
And that's a wizard move. I mean, that's so difficult to do. This is absolutely amazing play by Yuiui. Like, getting that dock, getting the javelin with what he had to defend with, that's amazing.
Ooh. He does actually kill the javelin trooper with the harvester. Multi-gunner turret's going to be coming in. They've got peacekeepers inside of them, but trading a power plant for a power plant, that's what's just happened. The harvester may be under some harassment, and YuiYui is going to try to fight a multi-gunner IFV with a harvester and a Tingu, which, I mean, he eventually will be able to do.
Well, the thing about it is, a Tingu is actually stronger than an IFV one-on-one, but the thing is that the IFV can kind of like outrun it. Yeah. And lose the Jojo in the water. So all the infantry cleaned up. That was a lot of Imperial warriors there. And what is going on?
There's one left on the little middle section of the island in the north, but there's peacekeepers inside of this building. Yeah, it is peacekeepers, I do believe, going for that power plant. One Imperial warrior going to be cleaning up some of those peacekeepers. Tingus are going to be out on the field, and Tingu does have the control to go ahead and micro those peacekeepers fairly effectively. The MCV brought off the line for those crushes, getting blocked by one of the Tingus. We'll have to see. A couple of these Tingus are extremely low on HP. This bomb splitting could be enough to eliminate them. Vindicators Can YuiYui deal with him? Yes, he does. He does transform. The multi-gunner turret, or the multi-gunner IFV rather, is going to be getting some nice shots off on those Tengus. The other IFVs are going to be getting focused down by the Tengus on the ground. A difficult scenario here for Tingu, as he is going to be forced to just run around with those multi-gunner turrets, or multi-gunner IFVs. They do go down. The MCV is kind of getting some crushes off there. It's very awkward to go ahead and put that and get some nice crushes with that MCV in that very tight space. But there's 5 Tengus out on the field. They've got those repairs, and they might actually starting to get, yeah, they're starting to get some veterancy. Nothing too crazy just yet. Oh, GG comes down from Tingu. Congrats. It's a 4-1 for YuiYui, and the main event number 2 is going to be wrapping up YuiYui with a variety of play. We also saw a variety of factions. Empire finally being used in the finals. But wow, some awesome games were had, and Tingu versus YuiYui, a best of 7 ending with YuiYui taking home that $50.
Yeah, big congrats to Yui. I mean, that was pretty funny to see that faction swap, and the build order of Tingu was just like unseen on high-level game, and he made it work. Like, he almost managed to destroy the main with a single javelin.
Yeah, that was a rough choice for Tingu, because he knows he's up against the ropes. He's like, it's 3-1 right now. If I lose this game, this is the end of the tournament for me. He decided to go for something a little bit silly.
Yeah, pretty ballsy.
It did not pay off for him, unfortunately there. 4-minute conclusion, and I mean, in total, I mean, resources don't matter all that much in a game that short. Those Vindicators not as effective as they could have been, and I think if he would have attacked a little bit sooner with those Vindicators, that would have been it, because he could have taken a couple more of those Tengus down, and we might have been looking at a different story at that point, but he wasn't able to do it. Tingu faltering in some of the finer points of that game. A big congratulations to YuiYui for winning another tournament